Is Google and Apple partnering together for the first time to bring Gemini AI to the iPhone? Let's find out. Welcome, guys, back to the Blockcash podcast channel. Today, we're going to be diving into a partnership announcement between Google and Apple that has sent markets in a tizzy, that is making everyone very excited about the possibility of a specifically integrated AI application into Apple's iPhone. What that could mean, how could that help corner the AI market? What could that do for the mobile phone market? And for these two giants, does Apple continue along with Siri? What happens to Siri? Is Gemini AI, really ready for this kind of a partnership, given the trials and tribulations it's faced over the past month? To say the least. Where do we go from here? That's what we're going to talk about. And I'll give you my thoughts and my synopsis here at the end. So let's just dive into this article and get jiggy with it. So Google and Apple surge on AI news. NVIDIA also eyeing growth with new chip unveilings. NVIDIA is just crushing it, guys. NVIDIA is off the fucking hook. All right, so let's start with this. The morning of March 18th, which is today, the day I filmed this, the tech industry was abuzz with the significant stock price gains of two giants, Google and Apple, opening at an impressive $149 for Google and $721 at 5% from its closing price on March 15th. Similarly, Apple's stock opened at a promising $175.57, showing a gain of $295 or 1.71%. Apple and Google are reportedly discussing integrating Google's Gemini artificial intelligence engine into the iPhone. The potential partnership aims to license Gemini for upcoming iPhone software features in 2024, marking a significant step forward in adopting generative AI technology. While the agreement's specific terms, branding, and implementation details have not been finalized, the news has already positively impacted the stock price. If it goes through, the deal could be announced during Apple's annual developer conference in June. The strategic alliance between Apple and Google promises significant benefits for both entities. The deal could allow Google to expand its AI services to over 2 billion active Apple devices, potentially positioning it to compete with Microsoft-backed OpenAI. Moreover, the partnership could address investor concerns about Apple's slow AI application rollout, which has led to a 10% decline in its shares and impacted its valuation as the world's most valuable firm. Analysts remain bullish on both companies with a one-year target estimate of 160.20 for Google and 201.28 for Apple. Should we touch on NVIDIA? Let's touch on NVIDIA a little bit. I won't get into the stock prices, but they are posturing a new GPU, I believe, or chip for AI. So NVIDIA's annual developer conference will kick off today, Monday, the day I filmed this again, in case you guys are watching this next day, with anticipation building around new chip announcement from CEO Jensen Huang, particularly the next-gen B100 AI processor, not GPU, AI processor. So all related, which is expected to outperform its predecessor, the H100, significantly. As a dominant player in the AI semiconductor market, holding an 80% share of the data center AI chips market last year, NVIDIA is looking to maintain its lead despite increasing competition from Intel and AMD. I can tell you this right now, Intel is not competing with NVIDIA. Intel is dying. So if you're holding NVIDIA out there, like you're interested in NVIDIA, this is not financial advice, but I'm just telling you right now, Intel is dying, all right? It is losing the CPU battle to Apple's M1 and M2. It is losing the AI battle to NVIDIA's new B100 AI processor and the H100. That's why NVIDIA is so wealthy right now. There's just, in GPU market, there's nowhere for Intel to really feasibly compete at any point in time now. So it's, as a company, they're dying. AMD is the closest competitor to NVIDIA, but honestly, nothing matches NVIDIA's products. So it's kind of in a class of its own, to be completely honest. And NVIDIA, aside from the Google Apple news, is, going to benefit tremendously from this. The more AI development, the more there's a need for AI, the more there's a need for NVIDIA's chips. So while you think Apple and Google might become, even wealthier, and they probably will, they definitely will, as companies, and they will have more control over global markets in terms of AI, mobile phones, and all that stuff. NVIDIA is behind all of it. They make the chips for everything now, especially AI, especially for phones, especially for gaming computers and just computers in general. They're the go-to chip, aside from maybe Apple's M1 and M2. I just don't see how NVIDIA is not going to, successfully benefit from this in such a tremendous way. So, congrats to NVIDIA out there. I honestly think they'll be the wealthiest company in the world in the next 5 years. Come back to this video if I'm wrong. But Google and AI, Gemini partnering with Apple to put Gemini into the iPhone will be interesting. Here's my thoughts. The iPhone is obviously the go-to phone around the world. It is the standard, aside from maybe Samsung, which I think, depending on how you look at it, is also incredibly popular around the world. But let's focus on the US market. The iPhone dominates the US market. Obviously, that's the go-to for an AI application. I'm just surprised that Apple has not been able to roll out their own version or even take Siri to a new level. So this brings into the question, is Apple going to phase out Siri? Is Siri going to evolve into something else? Or is Siri going to work alongside Gemini AI? Like that raises a lot of questions for me. I don't think that's good for Apple to not be able to push on that front further, but I think they've wanted to go a different direction. I think they've wanted to focus on hardware and devices. And you can see that reflected in the Vision Pro, whereas Google has moved away from that and into the AI direction. Where Google has failed, Apple succeeded with the Vision Pro, and Google Glass kind of failing, and Apple struggling with pushing AI functionality and doing more with Siri, even though Siri was kind of like the first step in this process, hasn't led the market. And now Google is coming out with a very strong AI. So it's kind of weird that they're taking two weaknesses and creating two strengths by partnering together. But I also think this is highly in regards to Microsoft, and them having backing for OpenAI and that kind of being their darling. I think there needs to be, there definitely is a need for competition with OpenAI. And because it's Microsoft, well, of course, Apple has to compete with Microsoft. How do they do that? Why not partner with Google? So this is just two tech giants going at it. It's pretty much an classic Apple, Microsoft battle it out story. Apple is using and leveraging Google's Gemini AI. And then Microsoft is leveraging ChatGPT and OpenAI's ChatGPT. And we'll see where things go from there. I do think the AI battle is something that's hyped up maybe a little too much right now. A lot of things are going to change. There's going to be regulations. It's evolving super rapidly, and we don't know really where this market will take us, but I think they're just very excited about where it can take productivity, creation, and the generative aspects of it. So we'll see what it looks like. It's very fascinating stuff. But we'll call that good for this video today. Make sure, guys, to hit that subscribe button and smash the like button. It should be glowing now that you say it like that. We say like button. I think once or twice in the video, it actually glows, which is crazy. Just found out the other day. So I'm going to start saying it more often. But yeah, make sure to also comment your thoughts down below on the AI revolution right now in the different companies that are players in this space and what's going on and what that can mean. There's a lot of things that tie in with blockchain and crypto as well. I'd love to talk about that in another video. I'm just waiting for some news to come out where there's some actual use cases or pilots or sandboxes where some of these things are happening. So I'll do a video on that as soon as I see one that's legit, or maybe it'll just go off on a tangent and do one anyways. But make sure to comment your thoughts down below. I want to know what you guys think, and subscribe, like, share, and I'll see you guys on the next episode. Cheers.